It's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Happy New Year. Hope you guys are having an amazing start to 2023, you guys. I was so ready. Like, these days are all jumbled up. I thought today was, well, technically now today is Tuesday, but I was anticipating these readings to be released from part one of this reunion already, you guys, and this is what happens when the holidays are on weekends, you guys. So there is that. But I wanted to kind of just give my quick thoughts on part one of the reunion, more so individually as far as how I feel each cast member sort of perform, and I'll just kind of go through the list, right? I feel like Martel, the Carlos King, and, you know, whoever else, the powers that be, are really trying to, you know, protect Martel. If anybody has kind of paid attention, it really feels as though he is, you know, pretty much there as a spectator more so than a participant, more so than an active participant, and, you know, there to enjoy the vibes, there to enjoy everybody else's drama and everything else. And the thing of it is that, you know, Marsau and Maurice really can't come after Martel the way that they want to, because Martel knows their tea. Martel knows their secrets. So at any point in time, if they want to unleash on Martel, if they want to, you know, try to come after him or whatever, he could totally blow the lid off of everything, right? And so it's kind of like, you know, they're cool, but it's kind of like, I'm going to keep my enemies close, right? I don't want these problems, right? So that was kind of the vibe that I got from Martel, right? Melody Cherie, I am happy that she is defending herself this reunion, and she is telling the truth on, you know, her perspective on things. You can tell that she's, you know, over the BS, right? But you have to keep in mind, you guys, all of the nonsense and the shenanigans that has been taking place, that has kind of been a buildup for quite some time, right? You know, Melody Cherie is still dealing with, you know, the drama, the never-ending drama, as it pertains to Martel, because it involves their kids, of course. But, you know, for the cast to just completely, you know, have no empathy, have, you know, no decorum, you know, willing to spread lies for a storyline, you know, making up social media rumors and, you know, being pressed and all of these things to try to bring that on the show in hopes to, you know, tear Melody Cherie down, you know, trying to shade her, trying to diminish her work ethic and all of the things that she's successful at. And really the bottom line of it is this, you guys. The bottom line is they don't have access to their meal ticket anymore, right? They do not have access to their meal ticket anymore. They're upset that Melody Cherie is better than ever without Martel, you guys. And I remember back, you know, when she dissolved the comeback group, you guys, and it was so ruthless because you could just see the look on everyone's faces like, oh my gosh, we are missing out on millions and millions of dollars because Melody Cherie is the brainchild of all of this, right? And I feel like there is no other angle to come at Melody Cherie, you guys, and that's why I always compare the situation to Mariah Huq from Married to Madison. Same situation, those of you guys who are not familiar, where she created this show where it was about, you know, husbands and wives, and one of the spouses was a physician, right? Was a physician or a dentist, and it shows how they would navigate their lives working, you know, at the hospital and clinics and such, and then how they would deal with their marriage and kids, and then there would be couples trips and things of that nature, but focused on the healthcare aspect, right? And then, of course, the drama. But basically what happened, she recommended, you know, everybody that was in the cast. Some of those people were personal friends. Some of the people were her own personal OB and everything else. And literally, you know, once, you know, the cast started to realize who they liked, who the fan faves were, that was when they started to band together and was like, hey, we can get Mariah off the show, right? And people started to change up. Her longtime friends started to change up, started to get in on the bullying and the isolation. And it was even cast members that I liked, that I was shocked that they were partaking in this type of behavior. So what ended up happening was Mariah was like, she had left and then kind of briefly came back, and it got like 100 times worse because of the fallout of one of her good friends. It was just unbearable you know, the way that they were treating her. So she ended up suing, and she still has the rights to her show, and she still gets her production credit and everything else. And you know, she's not been on the show since. I don't think it's going to get to that point with Melody Cherie in comparison. I think, you know, Melody understands that at the end of the day, this is still a check. At the end of the day, she's still getting two checks, one as a producer, one as a cast member. And, you know, it bothers them to no end that everything that they've tried to throw at Melody Cherie, including the kitchen sink, has not been successful, has not caused Melody Cherie to want to quit the show or want to move on to other things. And I think those rumors were put out there by other people, right? I think other people were trying to put those rumors out there to make fetch happen in hopes that they could get Melody Cherie off the show. That, hey, if we just create this new franchise in Atlanta, since Melody Cherie was going back and forth in there so much, that maybe we can get her out of Huntsville, you guys. But that's not going to happen. Even if there is an Atlanta spinoff, even if Melody Cherie happens to be on the Atlanta spinoff, she's not going anywhere, you guys. She is not going anywhere at all. Because it is shown, and the ratings have shown, that the show needs her, right? The show needs Melody Cherie. And even to a lesser extent, they need Martel's chaos, you guys. Just as long as it's not involving Melody Cherie. But they're the stars of the show, you guys. And particularly Melody Cherie is, right? So there is that. But Carlos knows a lot more than what he's saying as far as the Alondra situation and everything else. So there's that too. As for Marsau and Tisha, I mean, I don't think Tisha cares whether or not Marsau is cheating on her, you guys. I really don't, because literally she has a mother who has raised her to believe that as long as you are legally somebody's spouse still, and the longer that you stick it out with the spouse, regardless of how toxic and how dysfunctional and how demeaning and possibly cheating and having affairs all over the place, possibly exposing you to STDs, possibly having, you know, outside quote unquote break babies, if you will, that really are not a break. There could be all kinds of foolishness, you guys, that could be taking place. And whether Tisha knows it or not, she's not going anywhere, you guys. She is not going anywhere because she has been brainwashed to believe that staying in a marriage, no matter how bad it is better than being a single woman, is better than starting over, right? And showing your kids that you're not going to stick around for something toxic and dysfunctional, right? That they're not going to grow older and see their mother on television being disrespected by their father, and their father playing in her face, right? Anytime she questions him about alleged cheating, about alleged photos and whatever the else, and he basically manipulates it back to Tisha so tough that she just, you know, lets it go or just storms off or whatever, right? And she can't handle it, right? She can't handle the conversation, right? She wants to be big and bad and big and buck so bad in front of Marsau, and she never has the same energy. And she saves all the energy for Melody Cherie and for her mom, Phonics Unhooked, to go after Melody Cherie. So that is why we never get to the bottom of anything, right? But I just don't think, you know, I think at the end of the day, she's just going to be like her mom, right? Her mom's going to, you know, still be married, and she's going to have her boyfriend too. I don't think Tisha's bold enough to have a boyfriend on the side too, not with Marsau, because Marsau, I think he would actually, you know, do the reverse Uno on Tisha and up and leave. Like, I truly think that would happen. So I don't see a situation where Tisha would even, you know, have the gall to get her a side dude as well to compete with whatever Marsau has got going on allegedly on the side, you guys. So there is that. As for Maurice and this Kimmy thing, I just want so much better for Kimmy. I root so hard for Kimmy, you guys. And I just do not understand, you know, at this point, either she is, you know, like I said, choosing to be, you know, ignorance is bliss and blah, 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 and everything is rainbows and flowers and everything else and the like, or she knows who she's married to, right? She knows who she's married to and basically is going to defend it or play dumb on purpose or whatever. and it's just not worth it, right? It's just not worth it. Like, you were educated, you were successful even before you even met Maurice, right? Even before you even married Maurice, right? And you were about to be an empty nester and everything else. Like, you basically were on your own game. You were running things, right? As a single mother, being successful and everything else. You didn't need Maurice, right? And for whatever reason, it took him a million years to marry you. And it's just so cringe, you guys. It is just so cringe to watch, right? Because Kimmy's not in a situation where she's going to, where she has to depend on Maurice. Like, that was never the case, right? So why is she still married to this guy? I don't know, right? Because she was the one, if you guys remember, when he was in law school, she was the one, that was still working, still doing everything, and having to be the one spending the most time with Maurice's son and everything else more than Maurice was. Like, it was just a lot. And, Kimmy said that this is not what she signed up for. This is not what she expected. And even her son, Jalen, is spilling tea like, hey, my mom's not happy, right? And and it's just not a good thing, you guys. It's just not a good look at all. So there's that. And I don't know if this is just a mentality that's been instilled in certain women to where they feel that, like, the only way you can feel validated is if you have a man in some capacity. And that is the worst thing that people can do to somebody, right? To where people are conditioned to think it is okay to accept any type of toxicity from a man, any type of dysfunction from a man, even if you have to be the breadwinner 24/7, even if you are in the picture in the middle of a messy divorce/separation situation, where people are calling you the side chick, or people are calling you the home wrecker and everything else. Like, this all started from a very bad foundation to begin with, you guys. It allegedly started from a bad foundation to begin with. And the gall for Maurice's ex-wife to be on the show, you guys, in the earlier seasons, and basically, telling Kimmy to her face, like, I don't care about you, right? You're a non-factor to me. Because Maurice can basically have me move to Huntsville, me and my new husband move to Huntsville and finance our lives. Like it just couldn't be me, you guys. It couldn't be me. I would be raising hell. I would be out of that marriage so fast and out of that situationship so fast. Because I think that might have been right before they got married. I can't remember. But then the push was, for all that to take place once they made it official. But I'd be out the door so fast, you guys. So there is that. Other than that, it looks like next week, Stormy, well, I guess this upcoming week, Stormy's really going to have a lot that she's going to be dealing with in terms of what people think about her and everything else. Here's the thing, for me, I don't go after people's looks, right? That's not my issue at hand. I don't care how somebody looks or doesn't look or what have you. My reaction is strictly based on behavior and actions, right? Strictly based on how people are treating others and how people are portraying themselves, right? So I don't care so much about what Stormy looks like or what she has on or doesn't have on or what. I don't care about any of that stuff, you guys. I care about how she's treating people, right? I care about the fact that she's being two-faced, right? I care about the fact that she is coming off as a clout chaser, right? I care about the fact that her mom is slandering Melody Cherie left and right, and Stormy does and says nothing and just pretends that she likes everyone. She has no problem with anyone, but then shows up at Sheree's, New Year's Eve bash, but then shows up, on Martel Holt's side chick's Instagram page, all in her likes and comments, and shows up with the Scots and, trying to break bread and appear to be BFFs and everything else. That's my issue, right? My issue is, can you just own that you don't like Melody Cherie, or that you guys weren't as close as before, or once you got on the show, you felt like you didn't need her anymore, right? If you could just keep that same energy, that would be great, right? That would be, a lot more respectful than you saying one thing on social media and then your actions, say otherwise, right? That basically you're chummy with everybody who doesn't rock with Melody Cherie or has an axe to grind with her, and then your mom is not making the situation better because she's trying to be a Phonics Unhooked 2.0. So there is that. But that's kind of just my thoughts on each of the cast. I presume, hopefully, Tiffany and her husband are going to be on the upcoming parts of the reunion. So I guess that will be remain to be seen or what have you. So we'll tune in for that. But let me know what you guys think. What were your guys' thoughts on part 1 of the reunion? Those of you that watched, like I said, I just wanted to give kind of a quick blurb on each of the cast members more so than, you know, the actual storylines itself, because I just felt like there was a clear agenda for certain cast members, right? So I felt if I kind of picked it apart that way, it kind of explained some of the behavior and the way, you know, we saw certain things unfold the way that they did. So there was that. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.